They call it, the land of 1,000 hills. Rolling green slopes. Rivers that glitter like silver threads beneath the African sun. A land of beauty, and warmth. But beneath this beauty, lurked shadows. A history of favoritism, resentment, and hatred, sown deep into the soil. A darkness, that would one day rise. And when it did, the world would watch in silence. This is the story of Rwanda. A story of betrayal, blood, and survival. A war that gave birth to one of the greatest tragedies of the modern world. The Rwandan Civil War, and the genocide that followed. Long before the guns, before the machetes. Rwanda was a kingdom. A land united under the rule of Mwamis, kings. Its people, the Hutu, the Tutsi, and the Twa, shared language, culture, and traditions. They married across lines. They prayed to the same gods. They called themselves Rwandans. But even then, there were differences. The Hutu were farmers. The Tutsi, cattle herders. The Twa, forest hunters. It wasn't hatred. It wasn't war. It was life. And then came the Europeans. First, the Germans. Then, the Belgians. And with them, came a dangerous idea, that some were born to rule, and others to obey. The Belgians, they favored the Tutsi. Called them more intelligent, more European. They gave them education, jobs, leadership. The Hutu majority. Left behind. Poor. Resentful. To seal this divide, the Belgians created identity cards. From now on, you were not just Rwandan. You were Hutu. Or Tutsi. Forever. And so, the seeds of hatred were planted. 1962, Rwanda wins independence. Freedom comes with fire. The Hutu majority rises up. Decades of resentment explode. The monarchy falls. And thousands of Tutsis are slaughtered. Others flee. Into Uganda. Burundi. Congo. They become a people without a home. Refugees, waiting, hoping, for the day they return. Among these exiles, a boy named Paul Kagame. He would grow to become the man who changed Rwanda forever. By the 1980s, these refugees had waited long enough. They had begged to come home. Begged for peace. But the answer was always, no. So they began to plan. And in the shadows, a rebel army was born. The Rwandan Patriotic Front. The RPF. Their mission, to return home, by words, or by war. October 1, 1990. The northern border of Rwanda erupts. Hundreds of RPF fighters, armed and determined, storm in from Uganda. The Rwandan Civil War has begun. In Kigali, the capital, fear spreads like wildfire. President Juvenal Habyarimana, a Hutu, calls the rebels traitors. Terrorists. He vows to crush them. He calls for help. And they come. France. Belgium. Zaire. Foreign soldiers land in Kigali, not to fight the rebels, but to protect the regime. To protect their friend. The rebels are pushed back. But not destroyed. They vanish, into the forests. And there, they prepare for the next strike. And while they plan, so does the government. But their plan is darker. 1993, the world pushes for peace. The Arusha Accords are signed. Power sharing. Democracy. A fragile hope. But some saw this as betrayal. Hutu extremists, men in suits, men with guns, begin to whisper. They speak of an enemy within. They speak of cleansing. And they prepare for slaughter. The radio becomes a weapon. RTLM, the voice of hate. Every day, it poisons minds. The Tutsi are cockroaches. They must be crushed. And then. April 6, 1994. A plane falls from the sky. President Habyarimana is dead. And with him, dies the last barrier between peace and hell. April 7, 1994. The killing begins. Not soldiers. Neighbors. Friends. Even priests, turn on their flock. They kill with machetes. With clubs. With fire. They kill men. Women. Children. Babies. In just 100 days, over 800,000 souls are slaughtered. The world watches. The UN sends soldiers, but only to protect foreigners. General Romeo Dallaire pleads for help. But the answer is silence. Peacekeepers watch, as churches become graves. Schools become slaughterhouses. As the rivers fill with bodies, the RPF marches south. Paul Kagame leads his men through fire and death. They capture Kigali. They push the killers back. July 1994. The genocide ends. But the wounds will never heal. 2 million flee into Congo. Camps overflow. Disease, hunger, death. In Rwanda, justice begins. Gacaca courts. Trials for war crimes. But forgiveness? That will take generations. Today, Rwanda has risen from the ashes. Kigali is one of Africa's cleanest cities. The people speak of unity. Of never again. But the hills remember. The soil remembers. And the ghosts still walk. This was the Rwandan Civil War. A war that became a genocide. A warning for all humanity.